My name's Amy Haye. I'm a dress historian and a curator. When I look at Alucard, I see a romantic, dashing hero.
I hope I'm not too late.
The first character that comes to my mind is Dick Turpin, who was actually quite a savage highwayman who murdered and pillaged and in the end was executed and became really quite romanticised. It was Dick Turpin who, in the film, famously made the statement,
"Stand and deliver,"
which Adam Ant picked up in the 1980s. I'm not quite sure why, but he also reminds me of Puss in Boots. Maybe elements of a pirate. His boots are quite high, the flap comes over, they've got heels. They're like 17th century men's boots that were very, very fashionable. He's got this romantic cape that has almost got a Medici collar, which, if we look right back, we could associate with Queen Elizabeth I.
Have a care with my name, you will wear it out.
It frames this very beautiful, gender-neutral, romantic-looking face and long flowing locks. The cape does that with a chain, and so does the coat worn beneath it. Chains are associated with watch chains, but they're also associated in subcultures. I'm thinking of 1940s zoot suiters who also wore really long jackets, but with much more extended chains hanging down. The coat's like an 18th century menswear coat. It's got military or naval references. It looks like it's gold thread embroidery, which reminds me of Nelson's Trafalgar coat, which you can see in Greenwich Museum. Unlike an 18th century garment that would have been done up with beautiful embroidered buttons, this looks like it's got almost luggage-like modernistic metal fastenings. At his neck, he wears what was known as a stock, and a stock was a long piece of either very fine cotton or silk. And in the same way today that a man in a suit can express himself by his choice of tie, a man's ability to tie his stock with a flourish said something about him. It's a magnificent bow. And the stock is the precursor of the cravat, and it is the precursor of the menswear tie. Of course, Alucard wears trite trousers. He wouldn't wear baggy breeches.
Well, I'll be damned.
He's got gauntlet sleeves, the gloves look like leather, and of course he's wielding a sword. When I look at Alucard, who is illustrated, I immediately think of Karl Lagerfeld's illustrations and his persistent love of the 18th century. He illustrated a book called The Emperor's New Clothes, where we've got this pseudo-18th century design. Lagerfeld was also very interested in a character called Chevalier Dion, who was born in 1788, who left Paris as a male spy and returned some years later, an intellectual female writer. He's been interpreted by many people as the first openly trans-European person. Exploring these costumes is quite fascinating. Alucard is brimming with historical references, but also has an incredible contemporary resonance.